guys, Alicia here from Agile TV, still at the Agile 2011 conference in Utah, and I'm with Mark
Levinson.
Mark Levinson. Hi Mark. And Mark is going to tell you a bit about himself, and believe you me, this is some real stuff.
So I'm Mark Levinson. I'm an Agile coach and trainer and Scrum trainer based in Canada, Ottawa, Canada, I like bringing new ideas to the Agile world. I'm delighted that we do Agile very well. I'm delighted that people have learned to develop software and deliver value and create high quality. I like to bring interesting new ideas to the community from the outside. So some of my friends have been delving into the world of games and bringing different ideas of play and learning from play. And my interest is in, I've coined a word, Neuro Agile. And that's the idea, that's the bringing ideas in from the world of neuroscience, cognitive psychology, behavioral psychology, neuroeconomics, and other things like that, and asking how can we apply these to our understanding of Agile. And so in the past few years I've done sessions on learning and what these fields have to tell us about how humans learn. And this year my friend Roger Brown and I did a session on creativity. And so what we've talked about is, well, what do these fields tell us about how people are creative and what leads us to be creative and what inhibits creativity, so we can spot it when it's going on our teams, help it grow when we want it to grow, and when we see it being blocked, we can say, I observe it being blocked. Here's how I can help it grow again.
So a common theme that I'm getting from the Agile 2011 conference is that Agile is much bigger than just a set of methodologies and processes and tools. That's really a very small part of it. That there's so many other aspects involved that are going to enable Agile to work.
So I think of it like this. Agile is a framework and it invites you to go outside the framework and seek other ideas. We've got all sorts of people who've done some very brilliant engineering work. So now we have test-driven development and acceptance test-driven development and all these other things. My energy and interests lie in drawing ideas in to have better understanding of human beings, because my own understanding of humans was not as good as I wanted. Yet I make a living coaching them and working with them. So I needed to build models that allowed me to understand how people work. And so I reach out to the people outside our community who do a better job than we do already doing this and help bring these ideas in.
So you talk about it in terms of, how it applies to learning and coaching. There's also seems to be an application to transformation, i.e. we've heard about the political environments, the culture of a company. A common theme that's been mentioned a lot of times here is about the Agile mindset and the difference between doing Agile and being Agile. And it seems that Neuro Agile fits really into that kind of area.
It certainly does. I'm not yet at the stage where I have a good understanding of the organizational level. It's difficult enough to understand one individual human one at a time. There is clearly something more going on, and there is. I'm starting to come across papers on neuro-organizational development, but I haven't really yet started to dig into them and understand what they really have to tell us. So there is a much deeper level. My journey is very, very young. It's only been a couple of years, and the whole field of neuroscience is still moving very, very rapidly. So I'm sure there are things I will learn today that 2 or 3 years from now I'll discover are no longer valid and no longer considered correct.
You're right, and I think for all of us our journey is quite young, and that's one of the things that really appeals to me about Agile, is that it's an evolving philosophy. So there's always new stuff to learn. One thing that I've consistently said, in the 3 days that I've been at this conference, I've learned more in those 3 days than I have over 5 years of reading books and attending workshops and things like that. And if I never attended this conference and read another 100 books, I doubt that I would get to the level of understanding and that I've reached. And with understanding comes the knowledge of recognition of what you don't know and understanding that there's even more to know. So, as we know, Agile is about incremental growth and development, and that also applies to us as humans, right?
Well, absolutely. And so in fact, you've discovered a very important principle. It's wonderful to read books and research papers for ideas, but then you should go and find a way of testing your ideas. So either implementing with your team and testing them with your team, and do they work in the way you understood them, or testing them even by talking to other colleagues and fellow practitioners, which is what you've been doing here, and testing the ideas that you already had. And people say, well, yes, that's a good idea, but have you considered this implication? You retest it. And in addition, you do something more. When you read an idea, you're shoveling some knowledge into your brain. When you explain it back to someone else, you're restating it in your own words. You're taking information and turning it into something I call knowledge. It becomes your knowledge. You do that several times, and then you have a deeper and deeper understanding of the same knowledge, and then you're able to act on it.
Great stuff. So, I mean, for me, I'm going to be following the work that you're going to be doing in regards to Neuro Agile, because I see how that would be relevant to the stuff that I'll be doing as an Agile transformation coach. But for anybody out there who's watching this right now who might want to also look at some of the stuff that you're doing and follow your work, how they get in contact with you?
So I have a website that's fairly simple. I call my business Agile Pain Relief. So stunningly, the website is agilepainrelief.com. There is already one paper I wrote about a year and a half ago now. Its original title was Learning Best Approaches for Your Brain. It's to be found on a website called infoq.com. And at some stage later this year, my friend Roger Brown and I will publish a paper on creativity. We're still in the writing process, so I haven't quite found its home yet. But when it gets published, I'll put it on my blog, I'll tweet about it on my Twitter accounts, and I'm very good at letting the world know when something is done. So if they follow me on Twitter or find my blog, they'll discover it.
Cool. Well, one thing's left to say, which is thank you very much. I mean, what you shared has broadened my horizons and my understanding. So thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you for your time. It's awesome. Have a great, enjoy Agile 2011. 10-12.
That's Texas. So yeah, for those of you out there, Agile 2012, that's in Texas. As soon as I finish here, I'm going to be signing up for that. I recommend you do the same, because believe you me, Agile is growing. You can see from the videos, from what you're hearing, it's just growing. It's only going to grow bigger, and you want to come down to these places because in terms of investment in time, investment in learning, you're going to get so much value out of this event, and believe you me, that's really what my experience has been. So see you soon.